Hello, this is Scott Edinburgh. I'm the founder of Personal MBA Coach, and I'm here today to talk to you about a candidate success profile. A little bit of background about myself before we get into that. I went to MIT for undergrad, where I studied economics and business at Sloan. I was a teaching assistant for one of the MBA courses on negotiations, and I worked at Deloitte in management consulting within strategy and operations, mergers and acquisitions for a few years. Then I went to Wharton for the MBA. When I was in high school, I took a couple summers of economics classes at Wharton and really liked the curriculum. And then I actually wanted to go back to go into real estate. Went there, enjoyed the experience quite a bit. I founded Personal MBA Coach when I was a first year at Wharton. I helped my best friend with his applications. He ended up going to Harvard Business School, helped another friend get into HBS, and then Wharton, and the list goes on from there. Now, 13 years later, I'm on the board of the Association of International Graduate Admissions Consultants, which is a group that does a lot of things throughout the year. We have a conference every summer. We just had it last week, where we actually do a few things, like we analyze fake profiles and determine who will get accepted and rejected. We do that with admissions directors. I'm a top ranked consultant on a few different websites out there, 96% success rate. And last year, actually over $5.5 million of scholarships were awarded to our clients. A little bit more information about us before we get into the presentation for today. We offer complete GMAT, GRE, and executive assessment tutoring, as well as admissions consultancy. Have full-time support. Since 2008, we have some former M7 admissions directors on our team. So we have both insight from top graduates like myself, as well as folks that used to be on admissions teams to read applications. From a tutoring standpoint, we'll talk more about that a little bit at the end, but we have in-house software that we use to guide through tutoring sessions with modules, sample questions, thousands of answers. We help people throughout the entire life cycle. So we actually have folks that are in college that are working with us, as well as post-college, just into the working world through our early MBA planning packages, where we help people to think through really how to improve their profile between now and when they're ready to apply, to make sure that they have everything as strong as possible. We also have a large team of former interviewers, so people that used to interview at a lot of different schools to help with the interview prep, as well as former clients to network with at all of the top schools. So storytelling. Storytelling is an art, right? But it's also somewhat of a science. And we said somewhat of a science here because there are certain strategies that work, certain strategies that don't work. And one thing that's fun in our process is to see how things evolve from year to year and from school to school when it comes to storytelling. Here's a success story. So this is an applicant, and we brought this up through GMAT Club a little while ago, and you saw some of the initial phases of this person's journey. Well, they have a 4.0, 335 on the GRE, and that's out of 340. That equates to around a 750 or so GMAT. 3 years of experience working in investment banking, so typical pre-MBA field. Female, ethnicity is white, and we went to an Ivy League school. So overall, pretty good profile, right? Pretty strong on the stats, decent on the work experience, but that doesn't mean that someone gets accepted, right? A lot of people with very good stats don't necessarily always get accepted to their schools, and that's why the storytelling becomes really important. So what happened here? Okay, extracurriculars, some golf, some tutoring. Right, is that groundbreaking? I would say probably not. Goals were involved around organizational consulting. That's a little bit different. And then we had some passions around psychology. So in this case, we talked about how this applicant told the importance of mental strength leading to a passion for psychology and tutoring. Then we connected this to this goal of organizational consulting and combined some seemingly different ideas into one story about caring for people. Along the way, we highlighted leadership stories. So if you think about what worked here and what the process entailed overall, um, you know, leadership became very important for some schools and maybe not as important for others. But at the end of the day, what happened, right? So we interviewed at Harvard, Stanford, Wharton, Columbia, Kellogg, a few other schools. So interviewed a lot of places, and we were accepted everywhere. So this was our best success story of the year. And in total, we got over $550,000 in scholarships. Now, how did this happen? Of course, good test score and a high GPA was part of what led to the scholarship success, but it wasn't everything. Okay, this applicant needed to demonstrate very strong passion for her goals. She researched them, laid out an extremely clear plan for how to achieve them. What does that mean? Okay, that means not just saying, I want to do X, so I need to study 3 courses at Y in order to get there. It was a very detailed plan. We knew the types of classes, we knew the types of students that we wanted to connect with. We knew the types of other opportunities that we wanted to, seek out and engage at school in order to be successful. We also started working early, right? So we worked early and worked consistently throughout, finished well ahead of deadlines. So, for those of you thinking about applying in this upcoming round 1, it's still a great time to get started. But the point of this is you don't want to start too late because there is quite a bit of work to do. One of the things that you want to think about doing is researching the schools, right? And trying to convince a school that you want to go to their program. So as we were writing these essays, let's say Harvard Business School, right? It's not super crucial to convince Harvard that you want to go to Harvard. Why? Most people end up going, right? Over 90% of people end up going to Harvard once they get accepted. So the school is just not that concerned that you actually will attend. But if you think about some other schools, even great schools with very high yields, they are more interested in your interest in their program. And so it's important to start thinking through that ahead of time. Let's take Columbia Business School, right? So we had her visit. Visiting is important. Visiting doesn't have to be done in person, of course, since it cannot be done in person today. You can visit remotely. You can visit with students. You can visit with alumni. You can watch webinars, watch videos, go on YouTube. Show a school that you're really passionate about them. In this case for Columbia, we had 5 or 6 names of people that we talked to. We knew what we talked to them about. We knew how the content from the conversations actually influenced our goals and what the goals were before, what the goals were after, right? So all this really helps to inform a strong story, both in the essays and in the interview for why Columbia was the right school for her. Now, ultimately didn't end up going there, but at the end of the day, still had a very strong case for the school. Now, we figured out what was unique about each school and then crafted unique essays together. Using the same word in 2 sentences is not usually recommended. So why did we use unique twice? Because unique essays are important to show a school that you care about them and you're not just copying an essay from one school to the next. Do we do that? Of course, everybody does that. But you want to do it in the right way so that you are changing the essays enough. You are showing the school that you thought about all the opportunities and the professional clubs and the executive speaker series that were important to you. Now, most importantly here, we did not try too hard. I say that because sometimes people try too hard with different parts of the process and it ends up hurting themselves in the end. You want to seem natural. You want to seem non-rehearsed. You want to seem like you're coming to an interview genuinely just excited about the program and happy to chat about why Booth is the right place for you and what the program is going to do and what you're going to do in Chicago. And why you want to be in this big open space with lots of light to network with lots of other students. You just have to be real. And at the end of the day, sometimes that's pretty important. So we didn't try too hard. We did not do tons of interview prep. We did enough. We felt very confident, and we didn't want to rehearse too much. So that's what worked out now. What could we have done better? Honestly, not much. I mean, in this example, this was our best success story for the year. So there was not a whole lot that we could have done differently. We got into all the schools we applied to, got a lot of scholarship dollars, and by being very methodical along the way, we were able to do this in a way that demonstrated passion, that showed interest, and did not make a school feel like they were second in line, let's say. And so some other things, to think about here. One is just the goals, right? So we had some conversations around goals early on to make sure that the goals were specific, they were achievable, they were goals that other people have done before. We're not reinventing the wheel. You don't want to have this crazy new plan that no one else has ever had before, right? That's not going to get you into business school. Most people do not do the newest thing in the world when they're in business school, and some people do. But those that do, they generally don't write about it because they don't know that they are going to be the next best CEO or they'll start a company worth $3 billion. They don't really know that ahead of time. It just happens. So you want to write about something that's achievable and specific. Where have our clients gone? Our clients have gone to all of the top schools, and again, with lots of scholarship dollars, as well as some schools that are not listed here. What else can we do at Personal MBA Coach to help you through the journey? I'll go through a little bit of the details here, and if you want to have more information, please visit personalmbacoach.com, and we can certainly go into more depth. But we do tutoring, as mentioned before, a very personalized approach to tutoring. Everyone is different. Everyone learns differently. And so it's important that the tutoring sessions are not the same across applicants. And so we have tutors around the world, all time zones, flexible schedule. Initial brainstorming, that's crucial, right? We have to figure out what your story is. Who are you? What are you talking about? Whether that's done with myself or with a former admissions director for my team, we really help you to craft your own unique insights. And then selecting the schools, resume editing, we have expert editing of the resume, essays. We'll go into more detail later if you're interested in chatting with us offline. But we have samples for all the essays and guides to help you to think through really how to structure them. We'll help you with letters of recommendation, and then we have former interviewers from many of the top schools to help with the interview prep. It's very honest, it's very upfront. If you want a little bit more information about what you can do now to prepare ahead of time, go to www.personalmbacoach.com/kickstart signup. And whenever you're watching this video, it is ahead of time. There's always time to do work. There's always time to improve. So feel free to visit this, learn about studying, learn about extracurricular strategy, developing your network. And if you have any other questions, reach out and we would love to chat with you. But thanks for logging in and watching this video. We will have other profile videos coming up soon. And please look for other materials on our website. Our homepage has lots of other videos and other content you can watch, many that are longer than this, some that have my picture and sort of video. And then also tune into GMAT Club for other upcoming content as well. Thank you very much. Best of luck and stay safe.